Sup? It's Gregatron. This, 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 this. Look at it. Yeah. Yeah. Look at it. This. Yeah. 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 This is how are y'all, and do you like my shirt? Yeah. All right. Now, today I'm talking about and I'm showing off and I'm opening these. Yeah. Just look at them real quick. You got the good Vegito and the good Gogeta. First of all, let me say, I really like these boxes. I mean, the boxes are normally like this, but the design on the boxes. Notice how they have the energy blast coming out of this man's hands. And you can see the electricity around this man. And the energy and all that good stuff. So when I saw these, it really popped. Alright. Now, I doubt they really look like that because it shows on the side. And we'll get to that. Right? But still, shout out to the box. Alright. Now, with that said, let's open up Vegito first. Because, personally, he's my favorite out of the two. Don't ask me why. That's a whole different discussion. And we don't have time for all that. I'm going to use my good Power Rangers knife. You've seen it in the intro. Oh, before I do that, this is the Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle 10th Anniversary figure from Bandai. Number 1. They both say number 1. For some reason. You would think one would be 1, one would be 2. But yeah. Dokkan Battle. Alright. Just to make sure I'm being authentic here. And I try to keep the box intact. In case if I move. Or if I give it to a friend or something like that. That way they'll have the good box. I keep all my boxes in a safe place. Alright. And if you're wondering, I got these from GameStop. For 31 bucks. It was $70 total with tax. Okay. That's what it looks like there. Comes in 2 bags. That's the stand. We'll get to that first. This is why we edit. This goes into the figure. That's the stand. And this is the base. He definitely, Vegito that is. Vegito is definitely one of my favorite characters in the Buu saga. That's that. That attaches to the figure. These are his legs. As you can see, I feel like a kid on show and tell. Not bad, not bad. That's where the stand goes. And the gluteus area. The glutes. That's the energy beam right there. They covered up the hair with bubble wrap to make sure it doesn't get damaged. Alright. I see you. I see you, Vegito. I like these. The only question I have, I wonder why these weren't considered... What's that called when they go together? Yeah. Get the good blast out. Matchmakers. That's the name. There it is. It makes sense to wrap this stuff up because when it's in the truck or the warehouse or whatever, so it looks like it just goes right on top of his hand. Like a glove, perhaps. Oh, okay. So you can kind of see where his thumb goes, like a glove. Whoa. And careful when you put stuff together. Make sure you don't force it. Because if you force stuff, that's the minute it's going to break. Alright. Now for the good stand. That. I like the height on these. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Good height. And I'll bust out the measuring tape just for the sake of you guys knowing. Not that I care, but there's always someone who's asking, how tall is that thing? Because as a collector, you need to know. That way you know how much space you're going to need. So yes, we will get out the good tape. Let me start by saying I really like his hair. It's not even yellow. That stuff is golden. Really nice pose. The energy blast definitely complements the figure very, very well. I like the pants a lot. Let's get a close-up here. I won't bite. Oh, yeah. The good. See, I was about to say the good face expression. I like Vegito because he was so arrogant, man. He was so cocky. I mean, just straight up Vegeta all the way, but the difference between Vegeta and Vegito, like, Vegeta could talk that stuff too, but Vegito, he really had the juice. Like, he really had it. No one could say anything about this dude. You know, even when Majin Buu absorbed him, he was still a threat. And Buu was not a threat to Vegito either way, when he was absorbed or before he was absorbed. So that's that. Okay. I also like how this hand is kind of out there. Yeah, this dude was fresh, man. Just fresher. Fresher isn't a word. Fresh like a mug. Alright. Next, we're going to get my other boy open. I mean, Dragon Ball Z is forever, man. Dragon Ball Z ain't going nowhere. Rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. All right. should be 2 bags. Yes. And this guy comes with a halo. Open that back up. Get the good stand out. Like such. The good base. And notice how it still says Dragon Ball Z at the bottom. That's cool. Yeah. I guess I would ask you guys, who do you like better? You guys like Gogeta better or Vegito? I like both of them, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie. Looks good. Let's get them put together. Be careful when you're opening this stuff. I know you're like a kid on Christmas morning, but careful you don't break stuff. So due to his clothing, he actually has a little bit more going on. That little ribbon he had, I think that's around his waist. Definitely they wrapped this up for protection. Don't break that halo. Alright. That's the halo. Then you got the upper body. I'm gonna have to edit the mess out of this video. That's okay. It's worth it. Same concept with the hair. They're gonna make sure they wrap that stuff. Come on. Alright. The first thing I noticed, there's a hole in his head. That's for the halo. Alright. Again, the golden hair really stands out. The ribbon looks like it goes in there. Kind of facing upward a little bit. Upper body to lower body. And again, it says slide right on in. No need to force stuff. The last thing you want to do is break your own stuff. The good stand. And the halo, especially when it comes to stuff like this, be careful you don't break that. Because I actually have a Vegito, or I'm sorry, a Gogeta, and you've seen it before, but the halo is missing probably because it broke. Or the past owner didn't take care of it. All right. This guy, also very fresh. So fresh and so clean. Let's get this guy on the table and we'll do some size comparisons. All right. Let me start by saying these things are clean. These things are fresh. Fresh to death. Well, Gogeta is actually dead. Wow. They really did their thing on these. Bandai is not playing around. But they really should be matchmakers because they really do complement each other. I mean, look at the hair. They could be back to back. I like the stances, how they actually look like they're in combat. That's dope. Super dope. Definitely the fusions was a highlight in Dragon Ball Z. Definitely. But their stance is so similar, man. That's so nice. All right. So if you include the base, they both stand to about a little under a foot. About 11, a little over 11 and a half inches, thanks to the good halo. All right. If you were to take the base off, obviously they'd be a little shorter because they'd be on the ground, but they're not meant for that. Now for some comparisons. This is a different Gogeta I got from I guess you could say it's like a comic shop, comic / DVD / video game store. But even without the stand, still quite a difference in scale. All right. You could even throw in Mr. Piccolo from a different toy line. Same creator, but different line. And they elevate over him. It's just a bigger scale. Yeah. Even if Piccolo is raised up more, they're just big. That's cool. Super cool, no pun intended. As far as scales goes, they're pretty close to this Vegeta and Trunks. All right. Pretty close. Yeah, that would be the best comparison. All right. But let me talk about these two real quick. The musculature looks incredible. How the colors pop looks incredible. The only thing is, I kind of realized you really can't see Vegito's face. I kind of wish his head was a little bit more elevated, like Gogeta. Because the way he'll be positioned, you really can't see his face. Speaking of the face, you got some good face expression. Good paint jobs for the most part. You might get a couple little mistakes if you're really looking for them, where the paint bleeds out. But still, man, for $30 a piece, yeah, totally worth it. But they definitely should have been matchmakers, because it wouldn't even make sense for me to get one without the other, because they truly do go together. That's dope. Super dope. Now, my only question is, where will I put them? Appreciate y'all for being here. I got so much stuff I want to show you guys, it doesn't make sense. I would give them both a 10 out of 10. I'll probably give Vegito a 9.5 out of 10, just because his head is so turned down. I can't see him. So maybe if he was on a shelf that was higher up, maybe that would make more sense. But definitely, they're definitely above 9. Everything from the halo to the hair to the expressions to the color. I mean, the posing. They really do capture the two characters. But the hair being gold like it is compared to this yellow, for example, because I'm used to them all looking like this. But the hair, man, that really stands out. That really stands out. Big time. Ah, what the heck. That's just the way they wanted it posed. I say they both get a 10 out of 10. All right. There we go. That's the shot right there. Cool. All right, now. Take care and peace.